Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudy Berry and thank you so much for being here. I know that we just did a new-ish makeup video that included some drugstore, some Sephora, and some Ulta, but since then I have gotten a ton of new makeup in PR and I have very strong feelings about almost every single thing that I'm going to show you today. So I wanted to sit down and talk about all of the new arrivals at Sephora. I don't think we'll have any crossover with the last video, which was also all new makeup, so you should be good there. If you want to see some of the more recent launches, including drugstore, I'll link that one down below. And this video is also celebrating the launch of a brand new brand at Sephora, and that is one of my favorite skincare brands of all time, Experiment. Yes, this is a integrated sponsorship with Experiment. I am so excited to talk to you guys about their arrival in Sephora. If you've been here for a while, you know that I have been ride or die for Experiment for years. I was one of the first people that got to test the iteration of their first products because I'm friends with Lisa, who is a chemist and the founder of this brand. And every single launch they've had since their inception, I have loved and have put in a favorites video since they started. By the time this video goes live, all of their products will be available on SEPHORA.com in select stores as well. I am really happy for this brand. I think no one deserves it more. So let's talk about 3 products that I like to use from their brand to help prep my skin for makeup, which is what we're about to do. Starting with our favorite, the Super Saturated Serum. You know it, you love it. This is a 30% glycerin-based hydrating and barrier repairing serum. This was one of the first high glycerin concentration products that I know on the market, and now it's kind of a fad to do it, and I'm just saying that they did it first. I love the really unique texture of this product and how well it truly hydrates the skin and gives you a lasting effect. Hydration, barrier support, and is a great primer for makeup because it has that bouncy, dewy, sort of sticky texture that's going to help your makeup adhere. Then we have to talk about one of their newer launches. This is the Molecular Mesh Moisturizer. This is such a freaking cool moisturizer. First of all, this is my current nightly moisturizer. It is my favorite to use in warmer weather because it is a semi-ridge texture. It's breathable, but it deeply moisturizes your skin. It leaves a lasting glow and locks in hydration while soothing your skin without all of the heaviness that a cream typically does. And last but certainly not least in this lineup is the Software Lip Treatment. This is a 3-in-1 treatment. It lightly exfoliates your lips while you have it on, it protects your lips, and it hydrates at the same time. It is a cushiony texture that genuinely lasts on the lips throughout the day, so you don't need to reapply a ton to keep that hydration, and is a great step before you apply your lipstick or any of your matte products because again, it's lightly exfoliating the lip skin. So thank you again to Experiment for sponsoring a portion of this video. Like I said, you can grab these and all of their other products at Sephora.com now, and I highly recommend that you do. Now, let's get into some of these newer products. I'm going to tell you that I have used almost all of these, and like I said, I have strong opinions about them, good and bad, and I want to show you them even if they are bad because I feel like it's important to continue to prove my points. However, my skin is really juicy, tacky, and hydrated from all of the Experiment products that we just used, so let's see if it can change my mind about the brand new Armani skin tints. Yes, this is like a $70 new skin tint from Armani. I'm actually going to do a video coming up next week of all of my favorite luxury products that I think are worth the price tag. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not going to be included in it. I actually used this and I really thought that I liked it. And then I tried it again and I was like, no, I don't like it at all. So this is the third time. Third time's the charm. Let's see what happens. So this is supposed to be a 24-hour long wearing skin tint, which nobody needs to wear their makeup for that long. It is very expensive and quite thin. So if you hear this, it has a very thin texture to it, which typically is not my favorite. I find that really thin textures highlight the dryness on my skin in particular, and I'm using the shade L3 here today. But from wearing this one in the past, I will tell you that it does not emphasize dryness as much as some other super thin products that I've tried in the past. So I will give it that. As you can see, it really does blend in beautifully into the skin, but it is so thin that it's giving you very minimal coverage, you guys. So right now in my pregnancy, I'm gonna zoom you in a bit. Right now in my pregnancy, my skin looks really good. So I don't need a lot to help with covering redness, and I still don't feel like this is enough. I had a few people comment on my TikTok about this that liked it, and and the consensus was that it was a lot of men who wear makeup who are looking for like that extra thin, almost no coverage type product, or people who are just generally looking for super, super thin, lightweight makeup. But to me, when it comes to a skin tint, there are so many on the market that perform way better and at a lower cost. For example, my favorite skin tint is the Summer Friday skin tint, and it is a thinner style skin tint, but it has a hydrating finish, and it is much less expensive than this. This one does not have SPF, so if that is something that you are looking for, just keep that in mind. I was really hoping that this would be sort of like the Luminous Silk, but in a skin tint form. That is a foundation that I am willing to kind of spend the big bucks on because it is such a special and unique formula. It's so well beloved by so many people, but I don't think that they've really hit the mark for the skin tint. And I'm not saying it looks bad, but I did have to really prep my skin for it to look good, and I still don't have the coverage that I would like even for a skin tint, and especially at $70. So I don't know. Here's kind of a close-up vibe. I'm sorry, the weather's like on and off today. We've got clouds, we've got rain, we've got hot. It is legitimately 93 degrees outside right now. I am almost 7 months pregnant and I don't have the mental capacity to be nice right now. So sorry, Armani, but you done goofed. You done goofed. All right, we did not have an option for concealer or cream bronzer, so I just put on a little bit of the Givenchy concealer and the About Face cream bronzer, and we're gonna get into blush. I think in that last video I used the Summer Fridays blush. Let me check, because if so, I wanna use the Rhode blush, because spoiler alert, I did. Okay, let's use Rhode. Spoiler alert, Tiana. Rhode is at Sephora starting in September, you guys. Starting in September. I am thrilled, genuinely thrilled. I'm a Rhode supporter, a Rhode lover. I love their products. Have not found one that I didn't love, and I have every single shade of their blushes. I am an addict, and they are launching their full line at Sephora. I do think that the current limited edition shades, or the current summer shades that they have, which are Tan Line and Sun Soak, I think they're gonna come back, but they're not on the website right now, so I'm sure they'll come back. But every other shade that I have here is going to be sold at Sephora in early September, so I figured why not include a little bit of them in this video. I do think that we can do a full face of Rhode so you guys can see exactly what it is that you would want to purchase or maybe not purchase, because I do have a lot of their products. So anyways, my favorite blush shades from them right now are Sleepy Girl, Tan Line, Toasted Teddy. I am going to use a bit of Miss Sleepy Girl because I feel like I've used Toasted Teddy in a million videos already. And I love Tan Line, but I don't know when it's coming to Sephora, so I don't want to get you excited and then if it doesn't show up. These are a cream blush in these little pigs in a blanket, or little blankets. I am obsessed with the packaging. I know that people don't like it because they think it's chunky and weird, but I really like it when a brand, and I'm sure you guys are gonna say I'm kissing Hailey Bieber's ass, whatever. I like it when a brand creates their own packaging that's like completely out of the box and different than other brands. Like, they don't use the same components, which is way more expensive, obviously. But these have a life of their own. Like, no other brand is using these little piggy pockets besides them, and I just love them. Beyond that, I also love the formula. These are a nice middle of the road satin, could be considered dewy blush with high pigment, and the shades themselves are gorgeous. It is easy to go overboard because they are pigmented, which I can appreciate, and I just think that the team has done such a good job of picking really beautiful wearable shades for every single skin tone. So I do wear these almost all the time, and we'll talk about one other Rhode product in here, but just know they're coming to Miss Sephora. For powder, let's talk about two. One that I really like and one that I don't. First up being the one that I don't like. This is brand new from Laura Mercier. This is their new Secret Brightening Under Eye Setting Powder, specifically in the shade Soft Pink. So if that sounds familiar, I think it's because Laura Mercier has done the Secret Brightening Powder in the past, but it was a translucent shade, and now they have made them specifically for the under eye in 4 different corrector shades. If you know me, you know that the Laura Mercier Rose Powder is one of my favorites. It's a really really beautiful powder for the entire face, but also for the under eyes. So I was very excited to try this. It has a very HD powder feel to it, and I liked the shades. So I used this the other day, and it made my under eyes look 100 years old. I do have a short on this product, and I will show you for the sake of science, but I do not like this product. I find a little bit goes a long way, and I'm sure maybe I was using too much. I'm not certain, but it just really dried out my under eyes. And I am older. I'm not older, but I'm getting older. I'm 32, and I just have to be very particular about the products that go under my eyes now, because I do have wrinkles and I have fine lines. And when I first used it, I was like, oh, this looks really pretty. Like, it mattified, but it didn't brighten. And that's kind of the whole name, right? The secret brightening powder. I'm not gonna do too much more because, like I said, it's just gonna make me look old. But I just found that it mattified my under eyes, but it didn't give any of that brightness that I was hoping that it would from the pink shade. So in my opinion right now, in terms of brightening, I really love, obviously I love the Huda powders, but I'm really into these Kosas powders. There is a pink in the cloud set called Candy, and translucent Candy from the loose powders. They're really, really beautiful, and so I'm just putting everything up against those pink powders, and this one just did not do the trick for me. That's all there is to say about it. So let's move on to the next powder, which is the brand new Say Slip Tint Undetectable Baked Setting Powder. I consider this a finishing powder personally rather than a setting powder. I have mine in shade 2, and I really like this. I'm using the brush that they sell with it, which is like this really nice fluffy powder brush, and this is a baked formula, which means that it's not going to kick up a bunch of product, and it's going to give you a super natural look to the skin. And it has a bit of this, I don't know if you can see from a swatch or anything, but it has a bit of like a sheen to it, and I really like that. I like that it keeps a little bit of that natural luminescence in your skin. They have a loose powder as well, but that loose powder has little bits of shimmer in it, so I don't tend to want to use it. I'm pretty sure I actually decluttered it. And this one is just a nice sort of luminescence rather than a glitter. I definitely like this, but I don't think I like it more than my Kosas Cloud Set. I feel like the Cloud Set is just my girl, but I do like it. I don't know. The Kosas one is better to me. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Again, no new powder bronzers. I did talk about the Anastasia powder bronzer in my last video, so if you're curious about that, it's there. But I just used a little bit of my MAC Blunt blush, which I use to warm up the perimeter of my face. And I don't believe we used these Ilia blushes. So we're gonna use these. These are new from Ilia, and they are the Soft Focus Blurring Blush. I bought mine from Sephora. I have 2 shades, Breathless and Wonder. So this one's Breathless, this one's Wonder, and I love these. I have been wearing these like non-stop this past month, and I really like that they are a more baked formula similar to the Say powder that I just mentioned, and that they don't kick up a bunch of powder when you go to put it on your skin. Like, they are so easy to put down for a powder blush, which is, for me, hard pressed to find a powder blush that is an easy application for someone who prefers cream products. Like, if you prefer the look of a cream product, it can be hard sometimes to find a powder that doesn't just give you this huge amount of pigment up front. This is a very buildable powder blush that just blends so beautifully into the skin and has that natural sheen to it. Wonder is my favorite, but I do like the shade Breathless for more of like a nudie moment, and I like to put that right in the center of the face. I wish they had a terracotta brown shade because I would rock that all the time, but it's hard to go overboard with these because they're so natural and beautiful. I do still, of course. But they last well on the skin. These colors are absolutely beautiful. And again, they're user-friendly for people like me who are just not big powder people. I do think that you should set your face with something before using these, even just like a light setting powder, just so that you don't have that like splotch of powder when you go in with them. But genuinely loving them. Okay, next up is something I literally just got in today, so I have no thoughts on them yet, but I feel like a bad thought perhaps. These are brand new from Patrick Ta, but are they? This is a product that they actually reformulated. Oh god, I'm getting these everywhere. These are their highlighter duos. So Patrick Ta is known for making duo products, duo styles. They have foundations, bronzers, blushes, and now they have a highlighter. They had a highlighter already. However, people hated it. They found that the two didn't work well together. The powder was too powdery. Like, there was a lot of complaints. So they reformulated them and they brought them back. I just got the package today. My shade is not ready yet, I guess, so they didn't send it. But the two that I brought up here, one is in the shade My Love, which is the white / clear shade, and the shade Daddy, which broke in transit, but it was the closest to like my skin tone. So I thought, let's just see. You know what I mean? Let's just see. And this is the brush that it was sent with, and I believe this side is probably for the cream and this side is for the powder. What Patrick Ta likes to do is put powder down first and then cream over it. However, I'm not really sure about either of these powders, to be H with you. Let's do a little finger swatch of them because neither of them are my correct shade. So there's the white shade and then the more bronze shade. So I don't know that I really want to use any of the powders. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. And then let's swatch the creams and see. Because the top one is just a clear balm. And then it's like a bronzy balm. I don't know. They feel kind of greasy. I've just been so into skipping highlighter altogether and doing a really nice focused setting spray. But for the sake of the video, let's do it. I'm going to use the shade Daddy, which is the more bronze shade, with the cream side of the brush. I don't know. These are just really gooey. Like, I don't know. I just don't think that they have that like cream highlighter feel that I typically like. Like the sticks, like I love the Chanel stick. It's a little bit thicker. It's not in like a pan, it's in a stick. And I just feel like this is a little gooey. And it's definitely one of those that will get in your hair, definitely. I think that this shade is pretty. It's a nice, again, mid-toned bronze, and it looks pretty on top of my blush. But I don't know that this is something that I would really, you know, go for or pull for in my collection, especially in the summer when I'm feeling sticky already. That being said, like, I like the effect. You know, you can see that it's giving a little bit of that glow, and I like that the brush is small enough to kind of place it exactly where you want it. But I do think that it's just a little too balmy for my texture preferences. But let's see as we continue on if we change our minds. Let's just see. Let's just see. So for eyes, I literally just went to Sephora and grabbed this yesterday or like 2 days ago because I don't think I'm on Mario's PR list, which is fine, but I wanted to try out their new eyeshadows. So specifically, I saw the picture of all their eyeshadows on Trend Mood and I was like, oh, those shades are perfect for me. Like those mauvey browns and like smoky tones. And I thought, oh, these look similar to the Merit eyeshadows, which we all know are my favorite. My absolute favorite eyeshadow of all time is the shade Studio from Merit. And I saw this one in the shade Mauve and I was like, me wonders if this is a color gerb. So let's do a little swatch because I did not do a perfect swatch in the store because there was someone from Mario there and was like eyeing me down, which is, you know, that's their job. But I was trying to get a swatch. I've also heard from my friend Kelly Gooch, who I love, that this formula, the Mario formula, doesn't blend very well. And it's patchy. So we shall see, but they are pretty close. That is the Mario and that is the Merit. And I think if you blend this Mario shade out even a little bit, it gets even closer. So let's give it a gar. And also I will say I just tried to wipe it off and the Merit stuck around quite a bit while Mr. Mario just kind of fled the scene. I'm gonna use just a classic eyeshadow brush for this and just apply like a dot. She did say, the woman who was working for Mario at Sephora, she said blend quickly because they dry down very fast. And I said, okay, I can do that. I can do that. And she said you can use your finger, but it's better with a brush. I think that looks pretty good. That looks nice. It's like a light wash of that shade that I love. It's just I don't even think it's a mauve. I think it's like a cool toned taupey brown, but it seems to be building fine. fine. It's not like the most pigmented either, which I kind of love because I don't like having to try and figure out what to do when you've put too much eyeshadow on. I would rather build up like a light base and then see where it goes from there. Where I do feel like the Merit shadows do not layer very well. I don't know if these layer very well. This is the only one I got, but I have tried to use multiple Merit eyeshadows to create a look, and to me they're kind of like a one and done shadow. Like I only use it if I'm using it by itself or like really thinly as a liner on the base of my eyes. I do think that the Merits are a little bit easier to use because they're a cream you can just shove your fingers in there and like blend it with your finger in a couple minutes and it's totally fine. This one is more of a like moussey texture. It's a long wear cream, so it is going to take a brush and a little bit of finesse because of that, but I really like the color. And I think that it's a bit of a lighter wash than my Merit. I'll think on this while we continue and let you know my thoughts at the end. Carrying on with the next product that I have tested and love, hopefully will continue to love. This is brand new from Kosas. This is their Soulgazer mascara. I got this in PR a little while ago and I was like, meh, whatever. Like it's a silicone brush mascara. Like these are not my vibe. I go for really fluttery lashes, and this is just like, I don't like silicone ones, like all that jazz. And then I used it the other day just because, and I was floored. I love this. So first I'm going to curl my lashes just a bit because I just need to get in the habit of curling my lashes more. I never do it, and it just makes such a difference when you take the extra minute to just give them a little lift and tug. So this is not a tubing mascara, so it's a shocker that I'm wearing it. But the times that I have worn it, it has not really flaked on me much at all, and it did not transfer. And like I said, it's been so hot in Nashville that I was shocked by that. I do think like if I was outside for a long time, it probably would. But it gives a gorgeous fluttery look, even though I don't find that silicone wands do a very good job of that. So I am impressed. I do love an hourglass shape though. I think that does add to the fluffy look of it. But I am going to avoid my bottom lashes because I don't want that transfer because I do have plans this evening. Highly recommend it at this point. Like I've worn it a few times and I have looked forward to wearing it again because of the effect. So it's also it's not like a silicone brush that's gonna hurt your eyes. That's something that I hate. I hate when those little pokey brushes like get close to your root and they poke you and then your whole mascara is messed up after that. It does have a thin-ish formula, so you are gonna get like little bits that kind of go around the eye, but I love this. And it's also a growth factor mascara. So they have like a growth factor product and this is in it. So the more you wear it, the better your lashes are gonna look. So kudos to you, Kosas. We are wrapping it up with lips in a setting spray. I am gonna talk about a lip product that's been at Sephora, but they just released 3 new shades. So I thought we could talk about it. I have not tried it actually, so it's completely new to me. And those are the new Ilia Stylus Lip Sketch Hydrating Crayons. I've seen a lot of my friends use these and I just think they're so cool looking. I love that they look like real pencils, and they just released these 3 new shades, so I thought we could do a swatch moment and use them as like a lipstick lip liner effect. So first up we have this deep brown shade in Tableau, which would be pretty for a liner. Then we have a mid-tone pink shade in Decay here in the middle, and a more mauve-y nude in Untitled. By the way, this is the Merit eyeshadow, still on, Queen Behavior. Because these are hydrating, I'm feeling like they're just gonna come right off, which they did. Like these are not giving like long wear lip liners, even though they have that pencil vibe to them that might trick you into thinking they are, which kind of stinks. So let's use a little bit of Tableau and Untitled and see what kind of look we can get. And then we'll top it with a gloss. You can be precise with them because they're a pencil tip, but like I said, like I don't really know if that matters in the long run because I think that they are so creamy that they'll just come right off in a couple hours. These are definitely for your like everyday makeup person, kind of like Merit, like Ilia and Merit kind of dominate that space for just like the working mom who wants to have a little color on her lips, and then, but the thing that sucks about that marketing to me is like by the time she gets home, it's gone. You know, you can have both. You don't have to have hydrating lip crayons that don't last. And then I'm gonna use this shade Untitled all in the middle like a lipstick. Pretty. That's a pretty combo. I like the idea of these as like smaller lipsticks so that you can kind of do different ombre effects and things like that. But I think in my head I was like, oh, lip liner. And like, it's not, you know, it's a hydrating lip crayon, which is exactly what it's called. So you can't fault them because that's the name. It's in the name. But do I think that it will last on the lips like a super long time? No, and that's okay. It might last as a lipstick, but I do think the liner portion of it will probably fade. And I thought we could top it with one of our Rhode limited edition bombs. So I've mentioned a couple times on shorts that Rhode is bringing back 3 limited edition lip balms to Sephora. One is a pink shimmer in Jelly Bean, one is a clear strawberry glaze, and one is a nudie mauve shade, which is the one I think we should use. I love these. I'm not a huge fan of the shade Jelly Bean, which is this pinky shade, but people love it, and I think that this was a good trio to bring back if they were going to bring back any of the old shades. So I will use Salty Tan on top of this because it matches that sort of vibe that we've got going on of this like brownie mauve look. These are so nice. I love them. However, this one is grainy and the other ones I have are grainy, but they have reformulated them, all of them, to have less grainy or no graininess in the formula for the Sephora launch. So I don't love this combo, but it is what it is. They will have no graininess, but that same juicy formula at Sephora. So if you want to try any of these limited edition shades, yours will be better than mine because mine are all grainy. But I do love them. I love the color. I love the scent specifically of the strawberry glaze. It's so good and I'm excited to have them back in my life. I also own literally like all of the lip treatments and love them. So you really can't go wrong if you can find a shade or a scent that you want, specifically now knowing that there's no grittiness. Wrapping up with a setting spray, we have some drama. We have some drama in the community. These are the brand new Urban Decay all-nighters. Old all-nighter? New all-nighter. Made with Scandinavia? Not made with Scandinavia. So if you didn't know, for the past however many years Urban Decay All-Nighter has been made. It has been produced by a brand called Scandinavia. They make really great setting sprays, and this partnership has been going on for years. I love the Urban Decay All-Nighter setting spray. Personally, I don't think it needed a revamp, but they did. They made a natural finish, they made a matte finish, and they made a glow finish. I have tried the natural and the matte. I like the original better, and I also didn't find that the matte one really did anything to mattify. I think that the one size spray is much more mattifying than this, and I will try the glow with you now to see like what kind of glow we actually get. But they all have a different sort of thing here. So the natural one has temperature cooling technology, which Scandinavia owned, and that it's weightless. This one says it has glycerin and a dewy finish. And this one says combats shine for a matte finish with rice powder. So they all kind of have a different claim to them. I think they're big and bulky and ugly, and that kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. It's also the same like spraying mechanism. Like it has a nicer spray to it, but it's not like anything new that some of these other atomizers have, like the one size, even the Ole Henriksen or the Kosas setting sprays. Like they have a nice spray to them, and I don't know if this one's like my favorite. So we'll do a little bit of the glow. Okay, it is a nice mist. There's no like scent that I can figure out, but there are a lot of glowy setting sprays on the market right now, and the one that I've been loving is the one size powder melt. So I am gonna sort of compare it against that and see how it looks in a couple minutes. All right, it has been a few minutes. I've taken a good close look at this makeup, and here are my definite yeses, my maybes, and my hard no's. So for my yeses of all the brand new makeup at Sephora, obviously the new launches and everything from Experiment, highly recommend you take a look at their selection of products, obviously. And then also the new Rhode, anything that comes in from Rhode, highly recommend, but particularly the blush and the lip treatment are solid 10 out of 10s. Like you will not go wrong there. Then we have the new Ilia blushes, the soft focus blurring blushes. These are stunningly gorgeous. I continue to wear them like every day. If you can find a shade you like, you will not be disappointed. And the Kosas Soulgazer mascara. I love this. It's so beautiful. It's really black. I was absolutely surprised by it. And if you are in need of a a little bit of growth in the lash area, this is a great option. All right, so our maybes. We have the Say Translucent Slip Tint Powder. This is only a maybe and not a yes because if you are a person buying this, there's a like 90% chance you already own the Cloud Set shade of your choice from Kosas, in which case I don't think you need this. If you want something that's a little bit more luminosity and has a little bit less mattifying effect and you want to press powder, get this one. But if you already have the Kosas, skip. The Mario eyeshadow is a maybe. I need to wear it and see if it like, you know, creases or anything, but it didn't give very much color payoff for the shade itself versus my favorite in Merit, which is also such a long wearing formula. So I think it's more expensive than the Merit as well, but I do like it. I just don't feel called to tell you to buy it. Another maybe is the Ilia hydrating crayons. I think these are really pretty colors, but if you own a lipstick in that shade, then you don't need these. Don't buy it just because it's in a crayon formula. Like, it's cool and cute, but it's not gonna be a long wearing lip liner. And if you have a lipstick in a shade similar, you don't need them. But if you wanna try them, because you want that specific shade, I think they're nice. Another maybe is the Urban Decay setting sprays. They're just so bulky, and I think that the way that they kind of ended their relationship with Scandinavia was gross. I didn't like the way that it went down, and I think there are so many really good setting sprays right now. Like, the one size setting sprays are just so top notch, and I'm just finding it hard for me to want to pull these out, and they take up so much space in my drawer. Are they bad? No, but I don't know. There's just too many factors that are causing me to give it the maybe status. And my solid, don't buy them, don't waste your monies, is the Armani Skin Tints. Even though my makeup looks really pretty, this is not because of this. You know, it's because of the other things that I mentioned here and the fact that my skin looks good. But if you are not having the best skin of your life, you won't want to do these, and they're so expensive. Our next no is the Laura Mercier powder. Like I said, it makes my under eyes look old. It makes them look crepey. And there are just so many good powders out on the market to help brighten that you don't need this one. And the Patrick Ta highlighter duos. I don't know, this might be like an opinion because I don't have my exact shade yet, but it did give that glow to my skin for sure. But I don't know that it's better than another highlighter or, like I said, a really hydrating dewy setting spray. So personally, they're a pass for me, and I'll let you know if that changes once I get my real shade. Let me know in the comments if there are any new launches that you want me to try, or if there are any launches in here that you've tried and you disagree or agree with me on. And once again, thank you to Experiment for sponsoring a portion of this video. I love you. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And I will see you guys in the next one really soon. Bye.